Luke chapter 10 is part of Luke chapter 10 is the Good Samaritan. Okay, we've all heard of this story, right? I'm gonna read you something. And pay attention to the precept for verse 31. I'm gonna start with verse 25. The Good Samaritan. And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. But he, talking about the lawyer, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? Oh, for years I thought Peter said that to Jesus. It was the lawyer, one of these so-called holy men of God, you know, a scribe and Pharisee type person who think they know it all. He said, And who is my neighbor? Verse 30. And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down, this is verse 31. This is verse 31. Pay attention to the precept. Verse 31. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way. And when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Didn't give a damn about him. Just left him there. Didn't help him or nothing. See? That verse 31 precept goes back to Psalm 38 that I read yesterday. And what does it say? Psalm 38, verse 11 says, My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore, and my kinsmen stand afar off. Meaning nobody will help this man. This is a prime example of when Jesus said, The love of many shall wax cold. Because nobody cares about nobody nowadays but themselves. You see a man stranded on the side of the road, you see a man fell and some mischief that came about him, you're just gonna pass him by, just like the man in the book. You know? And people that does these things, these kind of people think they getting into God's kingdom. What's the reality of that? That was Luke chapter 10.